Okay, stream, there we go. We got some actual audio here. We'll call... Ooh, he got 2 pair, so probably should have bet heavier on the turn there. Maybe he wasn't calling with the pair of 9s? I don't know. Okay, so not a great start to the stream, but that's alright. We'll try for some more hands here later. So yeah, we just doing a Monday or a Saturday morning stream. Gonna I don't know. I just decided I'd try my hand at some poker this morning. Gotta kind of get back into it and try to figure out what we're doing here. Haven't really been paying attention all that much. I mean, we have a pair here, so let's bet the pair. 7, 8, 10 jack, so any 9 gets a straight. I didn't really see that when I bet, but... Nope. Okay. Our graph is down rather than up, so gotta work on that. I think I'm just trying to wake up here. I don't know what else to say. 2 bad hands in a row. Both of them were pair jacks, so maybe just need to realize that people have high pairs when they're betting. Alright, so let's see if we can get back into this. We got Jack 6 suited on the cutoff. It's not a 3-bet, so we'll fold it. And, yeah. Hope everybody's day is going well. It's just kind of a lazy Saturday. Had my shot yesterday. Seemed to go fine. Arm's really sore. Didn't sleep great. Stomach's a little iffy. But other than that, can't really complain if that's all that I'm dealing with, so. We're gonna try for a 2-hour stream today. Starting the countdown timer now. We are gonna be limited. We're just gonna have a stop loss of 1 buy-in, so if we lose here, we will stop the stream or just maybe go review some of our hands here. I'll actually mark both of those really early ones as review, and maybe we can dig into them and see what happened there. I think, honestly, I just wasn't fully paying attention. So, just got to turn the switch on my brain, and we'll try to play some poker here. So we got, we have a limper. We are in big blind with Queen 6. Probably not great. Button opens, so we're gonna fold Queen 6 offsuit. Oh, okay. So under the gun calls. We have 2-5-7, big c-bet from the button. Kind of out of place considering the flop. A 6 completes the straight, so there's lots of straights now on the board. 3, 4, 8, 9. 4, 8. And looks like somebody just wants to gamble. That guy... That was a lot of big bets all in a row. Alright, so now we're in the small blind. We're getting another open from the cutoff. And 7-4 unfortunately is just not good enough to play, so we'll let it go again. So player 3 looks to be pretty wild. He has he's 2 for 2 on attempts to steal. He's 4 for 7 in pots that he's been playing, and now he's just all in again. With 8-3, wow. He just wants to give his money away, I guess. I don't know how else to put it. All in on 8-3. That was interesting. I think he is legitimately just trying to throw his money out of the window. So we just gotta wait for a hand that we can call him with. And then once we go in, I mean, maybe we also just 4-bet him. Or 3-bet him back. But yeah, this is not the hand to do it. And it looks like everybody else is fed up with him too, so they're just gonna try to get him down. And oof. He takes it with 2 pair. That's a little brutal. I'd be pissed. I mean, actually, this is kind of how I lost my last like $5 of my $20 buy-in when I originally started playing poker. It was this exact situation here. So we'll just try to play by the books here. I mean, a low jack opens and we are in the cutoff, so we just let it go. And now there's 2 empty seats, so we could just try switching tables, honestly. I wouldn't be too upset about that. These guys are basically just playing all in all the time, is what we kind of have to assume is happening here. So Jack 9. From the low jack, normally it would be it's one of those like iffy, potentially 3-bets, but I'm guessing that guy is just going to go all in and then we're going to be in a really tough spot. So we're just going to let it go. I think I'm actually ready to switch tables here. Yeah. We're just going to switch tables. See if we can get something better. We were down $1, so we're gonna just stick with our balance to try and stick with our stop loss here. Alright, we got a different table. Let's try it again. Alright. I just don't enjoy games where the guys are just going all in every hand. It's just coin flipping. It's like playing roulette. I'm not super interested in that. So if I see it, I'm just gonna move. No reason to try and battle him. Because he'll just like, I mean, you're losing every hand that you decide to fold, and every hand that you decide to call is a gamble. And it's just not a lot of fun. Okay, so pair of 7s in the big blind. Probably be able to make something happen out of this. The hijack opens. So in the big blind, pair of 7s, we definitely call. And interesting flop. Check it and see what happens here. Hey, always win. How's it going, man? Hope your day's going good. Kind of had a weird start to that game, but hopefully we can get something out of it. Or that last table, I should say. Hope you're having a good Saturday. This is kind of getting to be a weird spot here. 3 more big blinds into a pot of 9. I guess total 18. Alright. I think we're just... This doesn't feel like... I mean, we just missed our set mine on the flop. We should have, I think, just folded on the flop. I think that's what we We screwed up by just trying to make this into something it's not. And he makes our decision easy for us. Let's see what happens if this other guy wants to play. Yeah, man, hope your day is going well. It's just going to be a kind of chill stream this morning. I'm trying for 2 hours. Hopefully we don't lose all our money. Oh, we had a 7-8. Interesting. So he had us dominated, and he had the trips. Glad we didn't stay in that one. All right. So 5-7 offsuit, small blind, not good enough to limp, not good enough to raise. We'll just fight another day here. So we got 3 people in the pot. Some of these guys seem to be, I mean, players 2 and 3 seem to be playing pretty much every pot since we sat down. The 7-5 definitely would have been no good, but there's a flush draw on the board. Anybody with 2 clubs is looking pretty good, but well, pair of queens. Okay. We've been seeing a fair amount of trips here. That's the second set of trips in a row. Unfortunately, we just have to let 5-3 go again, so. We should try and, maybe while we're kind of watching tables, I'll try to do some more in-depth analysis on what's happening so we can try and maybe like put ourselves in some of these shoes, try to spot what people have. So with a 2-bet from player 2, like player 4. Okay, so yeah, so cutoff bet, low jack calls, hijack is debating. And the flop comes 7-5-4. 2-tone. 2 possible straights flopped. So not a great flop for either of them. I guess the wider range here, the cutoff, has, like, it hits him better. Now any 6x makes a straight. Wow. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. I think one of these guys has a 6. Guess we won't know. We would have had 2 pair there, but I think we could have kept calling there, but that's all right. Jack 10, definitely can play that. We immediately get shoved on. Welcome to Micro Stakes. I don't think we keep going here, right? We don't call the all-in with Jack 10 suited. We call all-in with, I don't know, maybe Jacks plus. And wow, 10 queen offsuit, ace 10 offsuit. 2 pair, I guess, aces and kings wins it. Wow. So these hands kind of, I mean, the way these are playing seem pretty counterintuitive. Like I'm gonna take a look at that replay here. Can we, actually we can click this. Maybe it's gonna work. Come on, stream. There we go. We got Jack 10. Player 6 goes all in. Player 3 calls. Ace 10 versus 10 queen. So the ace won it because there was an ace on the flop. That's it. Well, just a 50x shove. Yeah, no big deal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like what, like, I guess the exploit in these spots is to just have a good tight calling range and then just call them as an exploit because you know that they're doing this with junk. By junk, I mean, you know, ace 10 or 10 queen, any Broadway. Any 2 Broadway cards? That's just weird. So yeah, if you have the upper range of the Broadway cards, I guess you're gonna win, and we get another shove. So I guess we'll just, you know, part of this stream, we just bust out the popcorn and watch the action as these guys just trade $5 pots back and forth, I guess, or $5 stacks, I should say. We're trying to play good poker, trying to stay disciplined, so not gonna call all-ins with stuff like Jack 10, unfortunately, or 3-7 offsuit. I think we just gotta, like, I mean, in places like this, you wait for somebody else at the table, I think, to call, and it's gonna take a couple times for him to get stacked, but eventually he will give up and run out of money to be given away. Oof. Wow. Okay. So player 6 down here runs out of money to be thrown away, and he leaves the table. So maybe we will go back to normal poker again. I mean, the other guy called with 9 queen offsuit, but I guess he just doesn't care. Either that or they're like colluding or something. I have no idea. It's weird. Okay, so we get a bunch of limpers. Just studied limping this morning, so I really should like have an idea of what to do here, but I mean, we are in small blind, and Jack 7 is not in our 3-bet or over limping range, so I guess we just give it up. Alright, so let's see what's going to happen here. 3 limpers in the pot. So ace queen 9 is kind of interesting. I mean, it certainly favors the earlier positions just because they're going to have a tighter range and more aces and queens. But of course the early range, one of the early ranges folds. And now they're just checking the turn. Possibly checking through on the river too. So maybe neither of them have an ace or a queen. And a single in position bet takes the pot. I mean, our Jack 7 wouldn't have won there anyways, so I don't feel too bad about it, but still kind of weird. And same thing with 6-4. Can't really play with that, so we'll just wait. I was thinking that for my bankroll challenge, what I would like to do is eventually kind of move my way up into multi-tabling and or Zoom. I think the way I'll do that is kind of set like buy-in thresholds. So right now I'm at 25 buy-ins. 60 buy-ins is when I move up in stakes. So between 20 and 60, I'm thinking like 30, 40, 50 makes good like checkpoints to maybe like increase the difficulty for myself, either by multi-tabling or changing to like a Zoom table if they have it. I think I would rather just multi-table longer tables with longer like regular cash tables rather than Zoom. I'd rather do 2 regular tables than 1 Zoom table at this point, but maybe I should kind of set myself a goal to push myself to start joining these Zoom tables and try to compete here. Okay, so we flop 2 pair. I mean, I guess we bet. Do we bet or check? We'll just bet low. Okay, one big blind. See what happens. Let's see if this guy is gonna bet, and then we just call him. He doesn't. So we're gonna like try to look like we're bluffing here. Let's see. Okay. Maybe he just didn't have anything. I don't think he was gonna call anything really there. So 3-4 offsuit. Multi-table better than Zoom. Okay. You sold me. So what I'm thinking is like maybe trying to set a goal like 2 tables after I get up to like 30 or 40 buy-ins, and then maybe like 3 tables at like 40 or 50 buy-ins, and go from there. And then like if I'll have like a stop loss kind of limit for myself too. So if I lose 5 buy-ins, I'll go back to the previous amount of tables until I kind of get back up. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think we can limp a king 6 here on the button. No. All right, so another jack high flop, kind of a weird spot for everybody, but I guess small blind probably has the best range here. Small blind or big blind. Both of them check through, of course. And we have one short stack at 32, so I wouldn't be surprised if he raises here, partly because he's in position. Okay. So now we see one bet. I gotta suspect that this guy probably has a pair, either jacks or sevens, and he checked through, expecting somebody else to bet, and now that nobody bets, he's just gonna try it. And he gets one call from the short stack, and now another check through. The other check through means maybe he's either scared by the diamond or he doesn't actually have a high pair. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I was wrong on that. He had the flush, but I guess he had the low flush because he just had like 2 low numbers, I think. I missed that. We can check it after we play this hand here. So we're going to 3-bet it here. So we'll go up to... So a normal 3-bet is 3, but then +1 for each limper, so that's 5. And we'll see what happens. Maybe we just take it down. No, we get one caller. Interesting. I have really low stats at this table right now. My VPIP is only 15%, so I'm a little surprised that I'm getting so many calls. This is actually a great flop for us because if these guys have, assuming they don't have pair kings or pair queens, we're just gonna 3-bet it. We'll 3-bet it low, so that maybe we get a call here, and we do. Now I guess we should be a little scared of 10 jack. That makes the straight here. We block the ace high flush, which is good, but there certainly could be 2 more clubs somewhere. I think we just double barrel and we keep going at 1/3 pot and see what they do. I'm honestly a little surprised that we're still getting calls. I suspect he has a pair of kings. Now we could have queen king, which would have us beat. Should be a bummer. And we get a re-raise. That also worries me a little bit. We could potentially be losing here to 2 pair. 8, 9. So 10 jack still needs a straight. Honestly, I don't feel like losing much more money. If this guy re-raise, he's going to re-raise again. So with only an overpair, I think we check through and yeah. So I guess I could have bet bigger there to try and scare them off of a queen, pair of queens, but at this stakes it feels like they're not going anywhere with a pair of queens regardless. Take a look at that. I mean, I feel good that I didn't just shove all in, because that has been my tendency in the past, and I just get blinded by the aces. So realizing that I definitely could have been beat there, especially seeing the re-raise was good, I think. So we bet, we get a call. The 6 comes up. I bet, call, re-raise, two more calls. And then the 8, we check through. So it was, he got the 2 pair on the turn. This guy had the gut shot straight draw. Not sure why he would call. He thinks he has top pair, so he's calling as well on the river or end turn. Interesting. This guy just lucked out. Queen 6 offsuit. And what did he do in the flop? So he limps. I raise. And he calls. So not a sensible raise range. Queen 6 offsuit. I'm trying to look at my ranges here. You can't see it on the screen, but I'm looking at, like, you know, cutoff opens. Yeah, that was just weird. Pretty sure Queen 6 offsuit is not in any normal ranges. Queen 6 offsuit is like 62% of your hand. 62% of the matrix. So aces got cracked. Not anything to write home about, but an interesting hand nonetheless. Maybe gonna try to study that. I guess we can call half line here. I'm not really paying attention. Got a 6, 7, 8, 10 jack. So we have the open-ended straight draw. I'm actually gonna. No, I won't donk bet it. That is a very low frequency donk bet flop. I think. I don't think, and just a gut shot straight draw isn't quite enough. I don't think. We will call one big blind for the gut shot, though. I mean, the gut shot's 4 outs, so not great, but I think we just keep checking here. We don't. Our hand doesn't improve at all. We still need the 9. I mean, a king ace would not get, or the, sorry, yeah, somebody. So 2 big blinds at a 7, so we're still getting pretty favorable pot odds here, but with 4 outs, yeah, we'll call. Nope. Well, this might be a short stream if we're gonna. We are almost out of money here. My plan was just, you know, my plan for this bankroll challenge is 1 buy-in a day, max loss. So we're not going to top up. We're just going to struggle, and if we lose, we lose. We can stop the stream, I'll stop playing, and we can look at some of the replays and try to dig into what the solver would do or what what Flopzilla says we should have done. 10-2 suited. I don't think we play that here. Actually, we could have played that. Yeah, and we would have had a 2 pair. I mean, we still could have been beat by another 2 pair, but let's see what happens. This is kind of, I guess that was partly my fault for not having studied. I haven't been studying my new ranges very well. The new ranges I'm looking at, they basically kind of have like a normal button opening range, and then they have a like if you're feeling adventurous button opening range. And so this is in the latter. It basically says any suited hand is openable from button if you're feeling adventurous. So the entire top right side of the matrix. Okay. So 6-4 suited from the cutoff is not in. Actually, it is. It is in the Are You Feeling Adventurous, but it's not the call a raise range. So we'll let that go. All right. This is another spot where I could have used the RNG to just tell me, I guess, like if there were no raises behind me, if it was only folds behind me, and I'm debating between using the adventurous part of the range and the normal part of the range, I could just ask the RNG, and if it's above 50, we go for it. Maybe we'll try that next time. So 4-6 would have not given us anything, and then we would have had to fold to an all-in shove here. Sure, he has a spade. Is he gonna show though? No, he's not. That's all right. So I guess just card dead today, and had a couple bad losses. Got aces cracked. I feel like we lost a pretty minimal amount on those aces. We could have shoved all in just thinking we're good. So I'm glad I kind of didn't tilt just because I saw 2 aces in my hand. But now that we're short stacked, it's a little rough going here. So 10 jack ace monotone board. Okay, so button bets. He bets full pot into a 4-way board, and we get 1 call. Are we gonna get 2 calls? 2 calls. 2 calls to a monotone high, medium, medium board. And now it's paired. Possible full house that beats the flush. But maybe the button was just bluffing. Wow, he was bluffing. Okay. Interesting. I mean, he just bet pot size on ace high, and then was hoping that he was good. Low jack, 10-9 off. Not gonna fly. Let's take a look at that one. Oh, we get another shove. Let's see what happens here. So he was short stack as well, 28. And we get a call. Pair of 3s versus pair of 10s. Quads. Flop quad 3s. Well done, good sir. Well done. I mean, I guess I'm glad we didn't, you know, have a hand like aces at that spot. We would have been pretty unhappy. That's okay. Wow, that was exciting. Okay, so big blind versus a cutoff open. Ace 2 suited is a call. And we get top pair. We'll just check through to this these other two guys in the pot and see what happens. I expect one of them to bet. Yep. We'll just call, see what develops. It's possible he has an ace. I mean, he's under the gun. I wouldn't expect him to have like two low numbers, like 5-4. I would expect someone to make the queen, so I'm just gonna kind of pretend like I hit the queen here, and we'll see what happens. We get a shove, so I guess this is it. I don't see us folding here. Yeah, he had the two clubs. Bummer. I was thinking he could have the two clubs, but in that spot, I think we just have to call because we are getting exploited otherwise. That's rough. I guess I didn't listen to my own advice about believe them when they go all in, right? Usually I fold to all ins at this stakes, or I've started folding all ins at these stakes because I pretty much never win all ins. I keep thinking it's a bluff and it never is. So let's we'll go to explanation mode, and it's a little disappointing that we only got about a half an hour into the stream. I was hoping to have a much longer stream today, but I find that I get tilted when I lose a buy-in, or I lose energy, or I lose hope, and it's just, if I'm trying to do this bankroll challenge here, I'm trying to just stay disciplined, so I think that means just like giving myself a break when I lose a buy-in. So maybe I'll go back to it later today, off stream or something, try to make up some money, but for now, we will kind of switch to explanation mode here and try to just see where we went wrong, try to put some of these hands into solvers, and maybe we're a half an hour in, we could spend an hour on explanation time. So, let us move stuff around on the desktop here. Oh, and everything disappeared. Cool. So I'm going to pull up Poker Tracker and we'll take a look at hands we want to review. And I guess we'll just start from the top down here on money lost and just see what we can learn. My mouse is being really weird. I'm also kind of annoyed here. Let's see. I think I can tell the RNG to go away. There we go. Okay. So, first hand of the day. Let's pull this up in Flopzilla here. We have Ace of Diamonds, Two of Hearts. We are in big blind. We get a raise under the gun, standard to 3, and then one call behind, 2 calls behind. We call. So, and the flop comes Ace 7-6. So, let us now. Well, let's just punch this in here. Ace 7-6, and then the range we want to do. Now there's 3 different ranges here. We could theoretically just punch all of them in. Let's do it. I don't actually do multiplayer mode very often in Flopzilla, so let's try and just struggle with the program and see what we can learn here. So there was a big blind, a sorry, small blind, under the gun, and cut off. The so the under the gun bets first. So RFI low jack. So we'll send this to the board there. And then we see a call from the cutoff. So probably something like this. And then a call from the small blind as well. So we're going to put the small blind at a bit bigger of a range. Do that. All right. And so this is showing our equity at 29%. And then the other ranges, so the under the gun pre-flop, or the under the gun raise first in is obviously looking the best, and then the other two are only looking okay. Let's see what happens on the flop. It's a check, a bet, call. So So we'll get rid of this last range here. So now it's just down to 3 of us. And he's c-betting. So the under the gun c-bets, and we don't really know much about his history, but we look... Actually, sorry. Yeah. So he bets 5.8 into 12. So that's... what, probably really close to half pot. So it's possible. I don't think we lessen his range here or strengthen it at all. I think we just let it go or we just keep it the same. I mean, maybe we say that we just filter out no made hand here. And so his equity increases to 63%. I'm slightly confused because this is showing this equity as 63%. This must not be... How do I look at... Click to ignore the multi-way calculations. Interesting. So this on the right here is showing not the equity of the 2 ace. It's showing the equity of this range. So I'm not sure how to get it to tell me what the equity of our hand is. I guess we can just look at like... this, but this is kind of weird. How do I... Well, okay. Sorry, stream. I am struggling with this. I am not sure how to get it to tell us what the equity of just our hand is versus these 2 ranges. It's showing me just range versus range equity. So if I just click this, and I click ace-2 offsuit, showing me 51% equity, but I don't know if that's actually doing this right or not, so... Well, we can add our range here, and our range we know was, let's see here, we were in big blind and we called 3-bet. Actually, did we limp? I'm confused why we're in with ace 2 offsuit. If we... So theoretically that was a bad call, ace 2 offsuit, because it's not actually in my range here. Under the gun opens from the big blind. Shows ace 2 suited calls, but ace 2 offsuit does not call. So I think we actually just misread our range tables. Oops. Okay. So, I mean, that's so first big mistake right here, I think we found, which was that we misclicked, I guess, or misread our range, and should have been in with ace 2 suited, but we were in with ace 2 offsuit. So we hit top pair. We check, he bets. And so a range like that, so right now we're assuming that he has something like 63% equity against like a caller with this range. If we modify this range to include that to maybe be something closer to us, then he's looking at something like 40% equity. So facing pot odds of 25%, it's not a horrible call. And then the 8 of diamonds, check through, queen of clubs, we bet. I am slightly confused by that. I don't know why we let out here, considering that the under the gun was the previous aggressor. I think we just thought that we were good with ace high, or a pair of aces. And then he goes all in. And we call. So, and he had the flush. Interesting. So that is why, ladies and gentlemen, that you always listen to a small stakes player when he goes all in. He is not being tricky. He is saying, I literally have a great hand. And I don't think that pair of aces, top pair, is necessarily good enough to be calling all ins. I think that's what we should conclude here. And if we let's punch some of these punch these last cards into here. So with 8 of diamonds and queen of clubs, and if we get rid of this and just go to so now looking at this, it says we have about 48% equity with ace of diamonds, 2 of hearts. But if since he's going all in, we assume that he's at least got 2 pair, or maybe we give him like the top and bottom of the range, right? He's either got like 2 pair and above or nothing. And his, our equity is 18% in that position, where he's got 20% bluffs and 80% made hand, like premium hands. Even 2 pairs not really premium. If we do that, our equity only goes up 5% if we give him straights or above or a bluff, which I think is pretty interesting. I think this is actually something we can learn from here, which is just the strength of his range and the strength of his range when we're looking at a board with 3 of the same suit. He even just ace 2 diamonds now. If we had, let's see, ace 2 of diamond, yeah, okay. So if we even if we hadn't misread our hand and we had ace, sorry, if we had not misread our range and mistook suited for not suited, and we were actually supposed to call, we didn't make an error. So let's say we had like ace 2 diamonds rather than ace 2 offsuit. We're still, hand equity really doesn't change at all. And it definitely just should have not have been a call of an all-in. Even just based off of pot odds here. We look at the pot odds of the all-in. He's giving us 36. He's giving us 36% on the pot odds when he goes all in like that. So our equity is only 24%, and that's including giving him like a polarized range of bluffs and sets. And that's just because the under the gun range still has a lot of suited hands here. And so all those suited hands could be clubs, and so that's why we kind of got out of the way there. Interesting. It's also interesting that he stays in with king 9, king 8, king 10, king jack, because probably at the beginning those were potential straight draw, gut shot straight draws. Let's see. We're looking at, if we turn off the queen river and we look at these guys. So the flush draws obviously, but open-ended straight draw 9-8. Gut shot 10-9, 10-8. The 2-card backdoor flush draw. So he's staying in with all of his high card spades just because there are... Okay. I mean, that's a stretch, but certainly possible. I think if we do something like, if we turn these off, and then punch back in the 8 of diamonds, queen of clubs. So counting everything, we have 40% equity. But this shows that he basically, so when we, I think what we got to realize is that when he is mostly staying in with flush draws or some sort of pair. And so then when he, if he stays in with everything, just assuming he just, because this was a check card, so we assume nothing improves there, so his range doesn't get modified at all. And then the queen of clubs, now we bet, and then he went all in. And so that all in tells me that he probably doesn't have something like a middle. He's probably not going all in with middle pair. Maybe top pair even? I don't think so. I think maybe 2 pair. And so if we filter even on 2 pair, we should have realized we were beat. Definitely should have realized that he's not going all in on something less than 2 pair. And what I didn't realize here is that the nothing category is 0% here. And that is probably because just all of his draws either make it or have us beat all. So yeah, all of his draws make it and all of his made hands beat us. Interesting. I mean, top pair. Okay, so that is that. We could try looking at that spot in the solver. I think it's going to tell us the exact same thing. I don't think there's going to be any surprises there. Let me see if I have something close to that. Okay, so we have big blind versus under the gun. And according to this range, we actually don't stay in with ace 2, so maybe we'll just pretend like we had ace 3. And then if we look at our database here of hands. I want to look at the database of flops. Here we go. So something like ace and then 2 clubs. Ace and 2 numbers that are suited. This is actually pretty close. Something like this. Actually, yeah, I think we do. Where are we here? Ace Q2. It's not exactly the same, but it's kind of close. And in this case, on the flop, we check, which solver is doing. And under the gun, bets, which solver is doing some percentage of. So if we look at the 50% pot bets here, we should be interesting that it has us calling on ace-2 suited and ace-2 offsuit. Okay, so we call, which we did. And the turn comes 8 of diamonds. Oh no, it crashed because it's out of memory, I think. So we, yeah, we won't be able to, because I didn't save the turn and the river in the solver, it's not gonna, and we're streaming, so we don't have enough memory for streaming and the solver. So, but I think, so we'll just kind of have to let it go there. And I think I'm just gonna call it and play some Satisfactory, honestly. Satisfactory's been a lot of fun lately, so I've been playing that, and also just been kind of trying to still keep studying poker, and hopefully we won't make any more mistakes like this and lose a bunch of money. I mean, we were short stacked, but yeah, still. Pair of aces, not quite good enough.